Hello and welcome to another episode of the Not So Round Table. As you can see, we've changed things up a bit. It's me. And George is back behind the camera today, so he'll be introducing kind of the plan we had about people off camera also commenting. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm joined today by Ryan, of course, and a very special guest, Dave from Airsoft Obsessed. I'm pointing at your skateboard, by the way. Yeah. What's up? You know, planned set pieces.
Solid prop.
Solid. Skateboarding obsessed.
Yes.
It is episode 160 of the Not So Round Table, and if you've seen all 159 previous episodes,
I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
We have also all just rewatched all 159 other episodes because copyright strikes are a thing, and apparently you can't whisper a song.
It's abusive.
Without having a problem. So we've had to go back and remove.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't. I just had to watch them.
Yeah.
George and Mason had to go back and remove things.
You know all those funny jokes that I made in edit?
Sorry, Chris. Chris works here too. Everybody's in today. We're all vaccinated. You know, we're just here to answer questions. So thanks for coming down.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I know I pretty much forced my way onto the show, but hey, you know,
For those who
love you guys.
It's never a point. Not being held hostage. He told to make this show.
Yeah, if you guys don't follow the AMA that I do weekly on Instagram, I answer Airsoft questions. Last week before we're filming this, Dave was like, messaged me on Instagram and he was like, hey, if I drive down, can you guys want to do an insert? And I was like, I responded on the AMA, like, yeah, come down. Not
Called
thinking you'd actually come down because it's a 3-hour drive, 4-hour drive, right?
But I don't have a life.
Well, so I get this message like, cool, what day am I coming? I'm like, oh, guys, we need Dave's coming.
Like, oh, I was supposed to be sick that day.
Yeah. So for anybody who's curious, what's been going on with you before we get into answering questions?
You know, we're just trying to live life the best we can right now. I think that goes for all of us. We were talking, you know, off camera just about how, you know, life's kind of different, changed.
Just a little bit.
Good, bad, you know, indifferent, I don't know. Won't get into that, but, you know, just doing the best that we can, trying to get, you know, some airsoft in when I can.
Yeah, it does seem like more fields and events are opening back up. Are there any events coming up for the rest of the year that you're excited about or planning on attending?
Well, Copperhead, right around the corner. I have been to every single Copperhead, and you know, the plan is to keep that streak going. It is actually one of my favorite places to play. Gotten some pretty epic photos there.
It's
I would
the
say
event that we all kind of look forward to as a
space.
group.
It's drivable, which is always good too.
I mean, it is drivable.
Technically, yeah. Technically, anything in the continental U.S. is drivable.
Okay, this is true, but I have made the shot from Fresno to Playas in one straight.
I remember you doing
12-hour.
Because you're crazy.
Let's get right to the questions, because we don't care what Ryan's been up to. Dave, you want to start us off?
Wowza. Okay, let's.
Ryan, what you been up to while he's reading?
I've been working a lot.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of film stuff.
That's why you had to put him on camera today.
Yeah.
All right. This question is from Kid Blaze 210. What do you think of a Milsim limited ammo CQB game where you can pick up ammo off of dead players? Example, everybody holds a mag worth of BBs in a speed loader or something. The general premise of this I like a lot.
Okay.
I like the games that have more depth to them rather than just, hey, let's, you know, kill the guys who are wearing the other color camo, and to add that kind of layer into a game like a CQB. Has there been a lot of Milsim in a traditional CQB? I mean, we've been to
Not really. Well,
what Faded Giant had, like, you know, that facility, but I mean, you could kind of get a bit of whatever you wanted there.
it was a mix.
Well, okay, so I think for the most part, a lot of the Milsims that are financially viable for these companies to put on have to have a larger player base, and a game like this would I think automatically make that more difficult because you're relying on not only enough space to have everybody to be able to do that, but also you almost need to have everybody have the same gun with the same magazines, or if you don't, like the question referenced, having maybe a speed loader to reload BBs instead, doable, but then everybody needs to be using the same BBs because, as you know, once we set our hop and everything's tuned for a certain performance, and then we're used to a certain level or a certain accuracy or whatever, and if you throw in someone's junk .12 or 2.0s or something that your gun's not, chronoed for.
Or maybe you do that on purpose.
Ooh, yeah, sabotage.
Right, and so that becomes another level of gameplay. I think it could work. I just don't think it really could work in games larger than maybe 50 people.
I think it has to be a pickup game, and I think everyone has to know each other because it's also like taking stuff from other people too.
And
in a
then
sense.
getting
It's
it
like,
back potentially?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's like it's got to be either something provided by the field
Yeah.
or something that like I'm playing with my friends, so
Yeah.
I know and I trust and I like all of them. You know.
Well, those are some of the
roughly.
best games anyway.
Yeah,
But I
exactly.
do really like the idea of a limited ammo game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because then typically you would think I'm only going to shoot at what I think I can hit rather than just spamming the heck out of a corner
Right.
or whatever.
I don't do that. I'd rather run out of BBs.
But I mean, I like the idea of limited ammo just in general. Like, here's your 2 mags. You want to shoot semi-full auto?
Yeah.
You know, you do you.
So, but George, you've been to a couple Milsim West games. Those are limited ammo. Although, okay, but what is? I guess the question doesn't really define what limited is. Is limited to one magazine, or like how is Milsim West limited?
They give you a small bag of BBs.
So it
Yeah.
is the
Like-
quantity. Oh, you've been to
It's-
I don't
it's
know.
just distributed.
You shoot the BBs
Yeah.
that you
Yeah.
play the game.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
get like, I don't even know what the size. What is it about?
It's like 2,000, 3,000.
I didn't know it's
in a
way
little
less than
baggie.
that.
Fill a mag and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
Mags.
so that is limited. So
But
if you want to
shoot
do,
more. Then
yeah,
you shoot more as the game goes
Yeah.
on.
Right, there's resupplies. And I think you start off more if you're running the role of like support gunner, you get more
Okay.
Yeah.
BBs to start off with. But then again, you've got 2 choices, 2 5s or 3 2s.
Yeah.
That's it. And sometimes you end up, like I've run the PKM at George Air Force Base, and like I have mine tuned for 32s.
Yeah.
Sorry, your resupply is only 25s. And I'm like, oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So then you're just holding it sideways.
But you can't
How
take
can run buildings?
BBs. You can't take BBs from other dead players and stuff.
Right.
But that's
Oh, you
but
can.
then there's the whole like consent to search thing.
Yeah.
Like,
You can only take the bags. You cannot.
Yeah, you
take
can't
speed
take stuff
loaders,
that's already been
magazines,
loaded,
anything like
yeah.
that. You can only take if they have. So the whole thing is when you get the bag,
yeah.
remove everything from the bag.
So
Yeah.
you just hand him an empty bag. So Kid Blaze, it sounds like you just need to go to a Milsim West event.
I would like to see CQB games do it.
Yeah, agreed. But you've either got to do a speed loader, and then we put it on one of those like janitor security chains. so you can't just take the speed loader.
So
and
I have
run
to
off.
load it at your dead
So
body.
you have to load it at the dead body. I don't know. Ryan, you want to hit us with the next question?
Sure.
I did fill it. So if we don't get to your question in this episode, I'm sorry.
It's all his fault.
It's my fault. Too bad. Put it in the next one, or put it in the comment section of this video, and we'll get to it next time.
Sly Rocket Operator says, "Hey Insert, I'm thinking about getting helmets for my NVG setup, and I'm not sure what I should get. Either Team Wendy, LTP, or something else, because I want something comfortable and durable, out of the box with an NVG mount, like how the LTP brings the Wilcox NVG mount. I don't have an NVG, so somebody that has an NVG,
the pores.
I don't
somebody
either.
who's richer than
It
me,
means
maybe.
both of us.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
you just got single.
But this is
Yeah.
this is a good question too, because we have 2 different types of helmet. Wait, you have a Wendy?
I have a Wendy.
Okay, so
it's
we
actually
have
in
2
the other
different types
room.
of helmets,
I have a PTS MTech Flux, the
which
bump
some
version.
very cool guys got him for.
Yeah,
this.
for my birthday.
That's right.
It was great.
Yeah.
Now I have they did it so that every time I showed up to a photo shoot, I wouldn't have a baseball.
Ooh.
Because
Yeah, it was his
they were
selfish
they were
gift.
just like, why every time you show up to a photo shoot you don't have a helmet? I'm like, I don't have a helmet, nor do I really want to buy one. And then they're like, here, now you have one. Now you have
Yeah,
no
Richard
excuse.
and I were literally scheming to like, how do we make sure that he always has a
A
helmet?
helmet.
It's his birthday soon. Yeah.
So now I have a helmet. Yeah.
Okay, so specifically about, I think maybe we tackle it in two different portions: comfortability and wider applications for attachments. Why did you choose the Wendy?
So I actually have a Team Wendy helmet. It's in the other room with my NVG coincidentally attached to it. But I chose Team Wendy after going through like some of the fast helmets,
Right.
A real one and the replica one.
I think we all started with fast helmets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then some of the other clunkier ones like this, and even an RBR for like the Russian stuff. But by far, the most comfortable one was the Team Wendy. I mean, all the other helmets, I could wear them for photos or for a game, and I'm like, oh, let me get this off.
It's here.
Yeah.
It's this point on the back of the head that you just get this pressure over time.
Yeah, but the Team Wendy one, the pads are super comfortable. The way it kind of cinches down when you turn it. I mean, I can wear a Team Wendy helmet for a long time and be totally good with it. So
I think the BOA system that it uses, the ratcheting tightening system, is its real ace in the hole. And the reason I say that is because the new MTech Flux has pads that are arguably just as comfortable for half the brand new retail cost. The difference is that ratcheting system.
I was gonna say, like, I had to, like, with mine, they have like sets of pads that I had to like arrange and stuff, and I was like, okay, this is comfortable, but it's not. It doesn't feel like a fitted, like a molded kind of fit. It feels like something that's like acceptable, but I don't know that it's like, I could definitely tell where this would be better, but it's also like at double or triple the cost to get that system. So for me, who rarely uses a helmet, like
What does that system run?
It's just
like
it's just a pad and strap.
No, but like how?
it's like $140, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Just saying. If you like hit up Team Wendy on their once a year sale, I think they give
25% off.
25% off. So if you're looking at $299, 25% off, you're getting kind of close.
But bump to bump, both are non-ballistic. At least one admits that it's like for airsoft. Yeah. Whereas the other one's just like, don't bump your head.
But you do get
a little plastic.
You do get the nicer. I'd argue the nicer Wilcox mount versus the M-Tech one, which is not, which is like it's a replica version.
So the Wilcox mount is based on, just like Picatinny, a standard dimension, and so most things are compatible with a Wilcox mount in airsoft if they're replicas. The only times I've had issue is sometimes on the older helmets, the polymer attachments are either too loose or too tight. But I have not seen problems with that on the M-Tech Flux.
No, the M-Tech Flux is spec'd properly, and it does fit correctly. I'm just saying it's like if you were making the argument of like what that extra amount gets you, you get that like legitimate like Wilcox, brand name mount kind of deal. Yeah. So I guess that would be the other part of it. But again, you're also doubling how much you spend on it. And for me, who's not running NVGs right now, it doesn't matter that much. Yeah. But I do know that the PTS ones accept them, and they're pretty safe on that, especially if you got like some safety chains or whatever.
Because if you are running NVGs and you've spent the amount of money to have them on the front of your head, the least of your the biggest concern is them coming off.
Yeah.
Definitely spend the money for the leash.
Safety lanyard them, right?
Safety chains,
yeah. All right. Now, George also runs
We're all Wendy guys.
All Wendy's, okay.
Except for Ryan.
So, funny story.
Ryan.
So I told you the story of how I got my Team Wendy. So the Team Wendy that I have, I bought from Jonathan, Airsoftology. No. Yes, but sort of a circuitous way of getting it. So Jonathan decided he didn't want it anymore, and so he sold it to a friend of ours, Josh Erickson.
Oh, yeah.
And then Josh Erickson had it for a while, and he didn't use it. He wasn't playing with it. And he had the spray-painted RG cover, because Team Wendy at the time didn't make an RG cover. So it was a multicam cover that had been spray-painted. So they had the RG cover and that and the rail adapters and all this accessories, and he didn't want it anymore. So he was like, yeah, $150. Oh. So then I was like, yeah, I'll take it. Yeah. So I bought it, and then, it was maybe 3 weeks later. Josh was like, hey, you still have that? Can I buy that back? I was like, yeah, I got to keep it, man.
Is it bad that I still have a spray-painted cover?
No. Well,
does it work?
Spray paint works great.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Next up, Ray Lacey asks, how can I find a list of fields and regulations in my area, and what states that I can play on with my family for vacations? Fairly simple. We all use Airsoft C3.
Airsoft C3 is a pretty good list.
You can look up fields and arenas in your area, which provides links to both their rule sets, their locations, contact information, so you can get all the info in an area that you might be visiting.
Yeah, that's the easy way.
Especially want to call them up if you're traveling, especially with stuff right now. It's like some of those fields might have weird hours and stuff. So give them a call.
Or even our field that I help run, we only do games every other Saturday. So, you would want to know that you're not showing up on the Saturday that no one's there.
Yeah.
Oh, dang. This is a long one. All right. This is from Zot.
Zot. UCI alumni, maybe?
Hey, Insert, as a follow-up to the AEG gas blowback milsim question.
This was from 159. If you haven't watched that episode, we debated the merits between AEGs and gas blowback rifles.
What is your take on AEG versus HPA at milsim? Seems like HPA is really taking off. I'm assuming that's taking off because people want the performance, but except for the very few who have the buffer tube air tanks, you have to be the Robo Murray cameo. A dirty hoser for the game.
Does Robo say dirty hoser?
Well, it's a Canadian thing.
Oh,
so.
do they say hoser?
Yeah.
Oh,
well, but I
never
think he's
heard
referring
Robo
to the
say
hose, the literal hoser.
Yeah, but Robo doesn't use
Wait, hold on. Can we get like a moment of silence for Robo? We miss you, bud.
Yeah. Those borders might be opening up soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I love the performance of HPA.
Yeah.
I don't the problem is real. I don't like being stuck with like one tank and a hose. And
We're doing the CO2
yeah,
thing.
you know, and I got to say most like milsim, if you're doing an actual milsim, they're not going to have fill stations.
Yeah.
Like it's basically like, okay, bro,
gotta
you
bring
want to
your
do
own.
it, you're on your own.
Let's
you
go
gotta
to
bring in
AMS
scuba
where they
tanks.
bring the compressor.
It is
Like,
more popular for
yeah.
at least some HBA fill being available for events now, just because of HBA being so popular.
But it's still that gamble, though.
But
Like,
my
when-
immersions are broken by these.
But
Yeah.
that one system that Polar Stars got out with the big CO2 things, if
Yeah.
you can, you know, stuff your pockets with those, that's
Yeah.
a sweet deal.
Yeah.
It really is.
That's cool. I still like AEGs just for the, I guess, the relative reliability and the energy density that you can fit into, like, because you still got to carry those tanks as opposed to like one big like Titan battery or whatever.
Oh, dude,
that, like,
one Titan 6000 mop, bro, you're
last for the entire weekend.
Yeah.
And you don't have to think about it. But I do know people that are very much invested in their HPA systems, and it works really well for them. And anything else is more of a reliability hassle in their eyes. So I get it. I'm just like, for me, AEGs is like kind of where it's at.
Well, if you've got your HPA system squared away and it's reliable, it's going to be
Yeah.
reliable for
Yeah.
the whole weekend. It's something that you can just throw
Yeah.
into a bag and go.
Yeah, as long as you, I guess the only thing would be if you're flying with it. I guess transporting air to would be kind of a tricky thing.
You got to fly with an empty tank.
Yeah,
They make you take the
or you need to
regulator
figure
off.
out a place to get those larger, huge 88-gram CO2 cylinders, or even the smaller ones if you're going to be running that system
Yeah,
too.
one of the Faded Giants that we all went to. There's a photo of you and I at that Faded Giant. I've got it's like a Mark 18 with the tank stock.
Oh,
I had to
the red line stock. Yeah.
I had to arrange ahead of time to ship a tank
Right.
to the East Coast, so it was there, and then the hassle of dropping it back off before I got on
Right,
the plane,
right.
because
So much work.
I don't trust myself to take off the regulator. I know there's like people who are
Yeah.
totally cool with that, but
Yeah.
for me, in my mind, I don't trust myself
Yeah.
not to screw something up.
Totally.
I did that, so.
Too much work. All right, let's do one more question.
Yeah.
Round this out.
Yeah. Should I choose like a big
No.
one? Okay.
It's supposed to
I
be
did.
random,
I
right? You have
grabbed-
one job to do. One job.
I should just cut the short questions on oversized paper.
Just a tiny, I'm just like, squid, like, what is
Yeah.
I
this?
did that once on accident.
Yeah.
Years ago, like a big year ago.
Ho Ching Young says, I recently got a drone for somewhat work purpose, but got myself wondering, not recent anymore, that only took a few months now. What do you guys think of using a drone as part of a game? Other than video filming, host can keep track of the game in a wider view angle, maybe other objective-based work with it, other than shooting it down. We have stories about this, actually. Or I have a story about this anyway.
I know that we tried to, what event was it? We tried to take a drone to do footage of, was it Bad Blood? Where Richard and I were in the parking lot trying to set the damn thing up.
No, I think it was...
And it was raining.
Oh,
That was Bad Blood.
And yeah.
Take a drone to Bad Blood.
Yeah, and then
No, I
it
don't know
and then
Bad
it didn't like, it just ended up not working very well. Like the reception was spotty. We couldn't get the thing to track very well. I was wearing the stupid tracker and it didn't
Oh,
follow
that
me.
was that drone though. That was like
Oh,
very
oh.
very beta. It wasn't like
We had a very beta
finished.
drone that didn't work very
Yeah,
well.
but no, we have. I guess I don't know if you were there because there was a Milsim West that I think we went to. We were in the Humvee, or maybe it was Lion Claws, or like this dude was like flying a drone to like try and. I think it was Lion Claws. He was like trying to like scout ahead, and we were all in the Humvee just like watching this drone go, and then like it just like there was like a gust of wind, and it went zoom. It got yanked like
Later.
30 feet, and it just like tumbled and like hit the ground, and we were just. And I was in the gunner's turret, and we were just like looking like, wonder where that came from, and then this guy comes out with a remote control, runs across the field, and I'm like, I guess you're in play.
You shot him.
Yeah, because I mean he was like in play, like it wasn't, and then he like called hit, and
So
we
the,
just,
the guy not only lost his drone, but like you just crushed him.
yeah, because I mean I was like, why are you gonna run out in the field? Like I can hit you. So I shot him, and then he just sat down in the field, and then we like drove up to him. We're like, we're sorry. That was really sad. He was like, oh, I should have expected it. Yeah, so I don't know. It's a lot of things to like keep in mind of not only like playing with it, but also like making sure you don't hit anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, Dave. What do you think of drones?
I don't know about the gameplay aspect, because I mean it's kind of hard to see something hovering right over you, and like you kind of know that somebody's getting an advantage on you and not just wanting to go like blat.
Yeah.
So I mean I don't know. There could be maybe a useful thing, but that'd be a tough one. If I'm putting on the game though, I like the idea, because then it helps kind of direct flow of traffic. especially like some of the games that we've helped put on at Hill 559, something like the Ops. We try to make sure that groups of people are kind of crossing paths, so you're not just walking around by yourself for like 2 hours on end and don't find anybody.
So you can kind of like figure out where to send game
Yeah,
control.
like, send it up, and then, hey, we've got some people in this kind of area of the field. Maybe you want to send some people to that kind of area, give people some fun. But
isn't that also why you have embedded players? Like, I feel like that kind of solves that. If you have embed
or like
staff that can tell you, like, oh, hey, these guys are whatever. I don't know. I like the idea of doing drones, but I also like the idea of doing off-road RC cars with claymores on them and triggering them remotely. But we're not going to do that because it's an unfair advantage. This isn't a video game. And ultimately, the amount of money you're going to spend on that to have it get damaged or destroyed, I'm telling you right now, 90% of people see a drone in the air if they're shooting at it. Because I would.
what if we had a fleet of like very inexpensive drones?
Right, exactly. So just take what you're willing to get shot
Destroyed.
down.
Yeah.
I would do the same thing with an RC car. Like, I know that I could drive it off a cliff or run it into a rock and have it get destroyed. Or someone pick it up and turn it off and it's gone. Just know that, you're
A $25 drone. $25 drone. Zzz, zzz, get shot. Okay, next up.
like a whole backpack full of $25 drones. It just send it out in the wild.
How fun would that be, though, if you're the guy on the shooting side? Like,
That'd be a
ooh,
lot of
there's
fun.
one. Brrrt.
I've seen people
Right,
doing.
And you're
Yeah.
waiting for the next one
It's
to
like
come
airsoft
out.
I've seen
skeet
people
shooting.
doing like, I mean, they have money, but they're doing like drone like skeet shooting.
But, like,
setting
real-
a drone up,
real skeet, yeah.
with a shotgun and doof, shooting it out of the air. Yeah.
Or if someone could, like, put one of those, like, heavy payload drones that'll do, like, 6 or 8 rotors that can hold, full-size DSLR.
expensive.
Yeah. And so take one of those and figure out how to do, like, airdrops. Like, do airdrop supplies or like airdrop, like, nades on people.
That'd be cool.
Like, that might be fun. But
As a
it's
game-
still going to get shot.
As a game control thing, though, I feel like it has to have some sort of authority behind it. It can't be like just another player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if it's like from the organizer.
It'll be
or
like
something
the
that.
Hunger Games, when they like drop stuff in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You drop in missions.
Oh,
Yeah.
running.
Okay, so as a furthering this concept, rather than drones, if we agree that it would be cool for a field to be able to do timed elements, right? Could you not also like have some sort of like lockbox at several locations on the field that would like unlock randomly and give you some sort of supply? Like maybe there's a store of grenades that get like unlocked halfway through the game, or like, you know what I mean?
It's kind of like what they do though is they like go, like game staff will go and like leave something there and then like call
But
up
this
all
is
the.
this is just automated. Yeah,
I mean,
like it
like-
goes like it flips up. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. All right, and we've come to the last question of the episode. So before I read it, I think we want to try doing a themed question for next episode, or is that something we want to like?
Or we want to talk about one thing at the start of the episode.
Yeah.
We want to have one thing to
Yeah.
talk about at the beginning of the episode.
So next episode, 161, we're going to try to break into 2 pieces. At the beginning, we want to spend 5 to 10 minutes talking
Yeah.
about one subject.
It's one topic.
That you guys put in the comments. So if you'd like us to expound upon one subject for a couple minutes that maybe doesn't pertain to an exact question, go ahead and put that in the comment section. And then ask your regular questions for NSRT as well, and we'll spend the latter half
Yeah.
of the episode answering your questions.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes.
Variety.
And if it sucks, we'll go back to this stuff. All right. This is an ever-evolving process. Now then, the last question of the episode is from Terrarian3299. There's a space.
That's a lot of numbers.
Yeah. What is the ideal weapon type, SMG, LMG, HMG, pistol, standard rifle, etc.,
a lot of things.
to pair with a sniper rifle? I plan to get the Mark 13 Mod 7, and I don't know what to pair it with.
I like the little SMG myself.
Yeah.
I think we've gotten into the mindset that if you're running a sniper rifle, you have to have a pistol.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily subscribe to that, but I think having a nice little, like an MP7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something
dope.
in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, he's recommending this having also run the same workhorse HK45. No, your VP9.
No, HK45.
What's your HK45?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love my HK45.
Right. And you've run that for 4,
Years.
5,
No, like
6 years.
6, 7 years.
Yeah, and it's been I mean,
Or
as
however long it's been
sidearms
out there,
go,
yeah.
and Dave is not sensitive with his stuff, like
I've seen it.
Yeah,
I love that
you
thing.
beat the hell out of your stuff, and so if you need something reliable, I think Dave can attest to the HK45 being pretty dang reliable. But not your first recommendation when it comes to being a sidearm for a sniper rifle.
No, like I said, I mean, okay, don't get me wrong, and you kind of hit me where it was a little unfair.
Sorry.
A little below the belt.
Sorry.
My HK45, yeah, I love that thing. I put a maple leaf bucking in it. That's the only thing I've done, and I get like literally AEG range out of
Yeah.
it. It's crazy. But having run sniper roll and realizing that I really suck as a sniper, just saying, I do. I would prefer when I realize that, oh darn, I'm not as good as I think I am, or not even close, or whatever, I'm going to get killed. I want to have something that's going to be kind of like my, oh crap, I need to get out of this situation gun. And I don't know if a pistol necessarily would be able to do that.
Right.
Because that's, for me, in my limited role as a sniper, that's when I would go to my sidearm. Because I'm like Bigfoot in the woods. There's no way I'm sneaking up on anybody.
Right.
So the sneaky with like, what is that, Mark 23?
Works, I think you said 17?
No, the
Mark
Marui.
Oh yeah.
With
Mark
that
23.
thing to like
Yeah.
sneak up on somebody, that ain't happening with me.
Mark 23.
You'd be like,
Although that, if
Oh, there he
tuned
comes.
properly, also has like sniper rifle range.
that's true.
It's
Yeah.
quiet.
What would you choose?
I like reducing weight at all costs.
Okay.
Like if I would go with a pistol, maybe even a full auto pistol, like a Glock 18 or something like that, because then you kind of get the best of both worlds.
Sure.
But I don't necessarily think that I would ideally like to have. I mean, I get the. It also depends on how many people I'm rolling with too.
Right.
Like if it's just me, then okay, yeah, maybe I'll have something a little bit more capable, as like an SMG or something. But I like cutting down on weight, especially if I'm already gonna. The Mark 13 is not a light gun. It's pretty big. It's pretty beefy.
Yeah.
So I'd want to cut down on weight and kind of minimize how many extra like accoutrements and things that I'm like bringing along with
Right,
it. So for me, I'd probably go with a pistol. I also think that it works a little bit better indoors when I'm going to have to like sling this big rifle.
Right.
And I can't maneuver around with that. And
Right.
do I want to be also managing a sling of another gun? I don't know. Yeah, I'd rather not.
Yeah, I think that's one of the core advantages to being a sniper is because you are lightweight and mobile, you can get to places more quickly than other airsofters, and you can get into areas where maybe you couldn't if you had a full-size rifle or a machine gun of any style. And so to then add one of those as a backup seems kind of counterintuitive.
Yeah.
I'm also going to make the argument that it's kind of about balance too. You're one of the few roles on the field that has the option to run a secondary that isn't just a pistol. You don't see riflemen running around with another M4. Or an HMG or LMG user also running around with an MP5. And so I think there has to be a little bit of balance there. And while it would be cool to run around with an MP5 or an MP7 or something else that gave you full auto capability, I feel like then that kind of becomes the primary, and then you also get to stack a 400 to 500 FPS sniper rifle on top. And that can be perceived as maybe unfair to the other players. But if everybody agrees to it, then I don't see any problem.
I don't see it as that unfair, just because you stack so much weight, and like trying to like maneuver these big bulky guns on top of it, I think is like really detrimental to like combat effectiveness.
Yeah.
As far as like, especially the bigger milsim games where you can kind of have one of these designated roles, like dude, it's a lot to manage throughout the day.
That's true. I do like the idea of the full auto pistol though, or something that is pistol inspired. The MP7 is technically a machine pistol, so that works for me. Especially because there's an AEG one now, so you wouldn't necessarily. Well, you could run a gas one and then also have a gas-powered sniper. But yeah, you could.
Yeah, my thought was just if you're running the role of a sniper, you're being sneaky, you're reaching out and touching people.
Yeah.
You're not necessarily looking for the engagement. So if I do get engaged inside my MED, so to speak, I want a way to get out of there,
right,
in a hurry. But
And I think we all kind of assumed, because he said the Mark 13, that we're talking like bolt actions.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because if you have a DMR, you are a sniper as long as it's semi-auto locked.
Yeah.
You are a sniper, but I think you have a little bit more freedom to use that kind of in a wider variety of situations than you would a bolt action, maybe.
Yeah, it's definitely faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And looks cooler and takes more attachments. And you can put a grenade launcher
Just
on.
saying, don't buy the Mark 13.
Yeah. Just don't buy a Mark 13. Yeah.
No,
Or
you do you.
yeah. Buy a Fieldcraft, save your money. We don't even have one up here to show off. Buy a Fieldcraft, save your money.
they actually are really nice.
Yeah.
I played with it, even though, like I said, I suck.
Yeah.
But lightweight, shoots freaking awesome out of the box.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that because I'm sitting here, but it really does. It shoots great out of the box.
Yeah.
And I run the chrono at our field, and I get to shoot a lot of guns that don't shoot very well.
Yeah, especially snipers.
Out of the
Yeah.
box, yeah.
Like there are a lot of affordable snipers out there, but they are not all equal.
Can we just say a PSA for a second? If your sniper rifle doesn't even break 400 feet per second, don't run it.
Run a
Please.
shotgun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I love you guys, but some of y'all show up and you got a sniper rifle that I think my HK-45, the aforementioned HK-45, shoots farther than. And I really feel bad, but you do you, boo-boo.
I mean, if you can get the distance and you don't need the FPS, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. But at that distance, you're not going to get a lot of calls
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's going to run out of steam.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a fly hitting me.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Spit on me?
Yeah.
All right. Dave, thank you very, very much for coming all the way down here and forcing
My
your way
pleasure.
into the set because we missed you and it was great having you back on. If you guys want to see Dave more often, you can subscribe to his Instagram. He's got a Facebook which gets updated pretty regularly.
Yeah, Facebook and Instagram is where I hang out the most.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you want more, Airsoft obsessed content, do that. Or comment below, and we'll get him down here for more not so round tables.
Yeah.
And also find Ryan in our videos and
Wherever else.
wherever else. And tune in for episode 161. We look forward to your comments below. See you guys later.
Yeah.
See ya.